wanted to talk about the importance of balance in everyday existence. Now, balance is relative. Obviously, balance to me is going to be very, very different to what balance looks like for you. But that's why it's so important to find your own balance and stop listening to what other people have to say about balance. When I start looking into what the spiritual community, for instance, talks about, or like business community in general, like the productivity community, let's say, and we're talking about like dopamine fasting and like going off all technology and staying off of all sugar and all this and all that. And I find that this ends up being a very unsustainable practice. It's very difficult to go through normal everyday waking life, especially when you got a job, especially when you got kids, especially when you have to interact with other human beings, to just go off of everything, okay? To just abstain from all forms of dopamine intake, to abstain from all forms of stimulation. It's very intense and rigorous, and honestly, just not gonna work if you just lead a normal everyday existence. If you had the ideal conditions, maybe you don't have kids, maybe you're not in a relationship, maybe you have no interests besides building your business, perhaps then this kind of attitude is for you. Maybe we need to put you on a maximum dopamine fast, and good luck, you don't watch any YouTube the entire day, man. And if you watch even one YouTube video, guess what? It's all over. Now you've stimulated yourself, and there's no way that you're going to get back into the flow, which I find to be a very extremist mindset. Yes, in a perfect world, we'd go throughout an entire day only being stimulated by the things that we are working on. However, in reality, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to avoid technology altogether. And sometimes you may find yourself caught up scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on YouTube, and in that self-stimulating mindset. And yes, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. It is probably going to affect your productivity a little bit, because dopamine in the system makes it harder for you to go back to just working your normal tasks, your normal boring tasks if you've been stimulating yourself with a variety of different videos. However, it probably doesn't mess things up as much as we're being told by everyone on the internet, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your intake of videos. Just because you watched one video doesn't mean the whole day is ruined. Guys, just bounce back. Just come back to your work. It may take a little bit of extra concentration at first to get back into your whatever you were doing, writing, accounting, your everyday work tasks that you're using to build your business. Website building, maybe if you're building your website. Yes, it may take a little bit of time to get back into it, but it doesn't have to be the be-all and end-all. It's like, oh, I know I used to be this way. I used to be very extremist. If I even missed like one little part of my routine, if I watched a video in the morning before I started my work, oh boy, I'd just be like, okay, well, this day's a write-off. And honestly, it's a story that we tell ourselves. It doesn't have to mean that our days come to an end. We need to get more used to resetting our day throughout the day, not waiting until the next day to reset, because otherwise we're going to be doing that the whole time. We're going to be using that excuse the whole time. It's very possible to do something that is not on your schedule and get back on schedule, get back on track, without having to be this extreme mindset, because we're going to get roped in. What if somebody that we know comes up and they're like, hey dude, watch this video, okay? We can't be, the story that we tell ourselves that we can't watch the video because it's going to mess with our flow. Guys, do you have any like energetic boundaries whatsoever? Do you have any like willpower? You're telling me you can't watch a video and then go back to doing work. That's a story that the productivity YouTubers are selling you. It's a story that the productivity YouTubers are telling you is true, and you're believing it. You're buying it. because it's extreme. And I don't know what it is about humanity, but we like to be very bipolar. We like to be like either on one extreme or the other. It's all or nothing. We're watching videos today, we're watching videos today. If we're being productive today, we're being productive today. Why can't we be both? Why can't we have a little bit of leisure throughout the day and then still bring ourselves back to our work? Okay, because the real world is going to distract you. There's going to be technology. You're going to avoid technology entirely? Yeah, again, if we lived in perfect conditions, this could be a thing. But we don't. We have family members. We have kids. We have people that are going to be interrupting us. And if we tell ourselves that we have to have the perfect day in order to be productive, then I say we are severely shooting ourselves in the foot, and we are talking absolute and utter crap. So, stop taking this extremist mindset that everything you do affects you. Yeah, just stop taking this extremist mindset that you have to have the perfect day to be productive. You don't. You can still get interrupted, get distracted, and get yourself back on track. That is a much more useful mindset to have than any distraction has ruined my day. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, guys.